Mm, mm, mm. How you guys doing out there for this gloomy, rainy Thursday, September 27th?
A little wet out there today.
It is.
That's okay. It's a rain. It's a shower of the earth
Yes.
to cleanse us
Much needed.
from our disgustingness. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Talking Trends, where
Mm-hmm.
myself and Tony find interesting news articles from across the globe and we bring them to the comforts of your home. And unlike a lot of podcasts out there, this is done live. So everybody tuning in right now, we want to hear your opinions on the stories that we're going to be covering today. And you may be asking yourself, what are those stories?
I was just asking myself that same question.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
We got a doozy for you.
Oh, yeah.
Up first, social experiment. Dad decides to put 3-year-old in trunk.
Can't say I've done that, but I'm intrigued.
Me too. A little church controversy never hurt nobody.
Always seems to be controversy around the church.
In this case, conflict of opinions and beliefs.
We're good. Wrong number. I was expecting a call.
Yeah, for sure. And then the second half of the show, this is disturbing news. Pictured here, father of a newborn decides to go play video games and leaves his infant in the bathtub.
Well, it's about priorities.
Right?
So, sometimes you gotta do that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And rounding today's show, faking it. People fake a lot of things. And in this case, a lady fakes her pregnancy for 9 months in order to keep her husband.
Sometimes he better have been worth it.
I hope.
He must have been like a Superman for her to go through all that.
Giving her that dick.
Oh, we'll get the... This is an AM show,
Oh,
man.
yeah,
I told
sorry.
you. It can't
Okay.
be like 5 o'clock.
Sorry, I apologize.
Oh, it's all good. How do you like your coffee now, people?
Strong.
Yeah.
Like that
strong.
dick.
Oh, Jesus
Anyways,
Christ.
we're going to hop into today's show with
We're
our
not meant
first...
for morning TV, for morning podcast.
Not morning
No.
anything.
Yeah.
So for our first story...
Are we doing a birthday shout out or no?
Oh, yeah.
To our boy?
Yeah.
Yeah, Lil Wayne.
Shouts out to Lil Wayne. Happy birthday, my friend.
36, and looking forward to the Carter 5,
Yes.
which he announced is coming out. So, shouts out to Wayne.
Shouts out, sir.
Cash money.
Have a blessed day.
Young Money.
Up first, this dad, pictured here.
Super Dad.
Super dad of the year, I think. Father conducts a social experiment by putting his 3-year-old in the trunk of his car. So a Chicago couple, it wasn't just him, but he takes the brunt of it. The couple claims a failed social experiment involving a 3-year-old has led to the father's arrest and the boy, of course, being taken away from them. So the boy was sent to the Illinois Department of Children and Family Services to live with a relative for more than 3 weeks. But on Wednesday, the department announced the child had been returned to the family. So we're still investigating the situation, the department said. So anyways, what had went on was that...
What kind of experiment is this?
That's interesting. So the father, whose name is Boguslav Milak, try saying that 3 times fast, and the mother of the child told police that they were trying to understand a public reaction to child endangerment when they turned on a hidden camera and filmed the father placing their son in the trunk of their car, which was parked outside a busy restaurant in the suburb of Chicago.
Right. So they're waiting for the public to intervene.
Right.
One of those situations.
So you're being bad, and I'm going to punish you by putting you in the trunk, the dad said to his son. And pictured here, he's putting the child in the trunk.
Holy.
So unbeknownst to you guys out there, the temperature that day was 89 degrees.
There you go.
So it's 31 degrees here.
Cook your boy.
Right?
Cook him up.
Serving fresh boys. Ew. Actually,
no, I didn't say that. Yeah. You went too far. I told you this is morning.
God damn it.
You're not used to this morning.
No, I'm not.
You're too vulgar for morning.
It's true. Anyways, 3 people sitting near where the Audi was parked outside of the restaurant told the responding officer that after closing the trunk, the father immediately got into the car and drove away. The officer later recognized the father when he returned to the parking lot. Without his wife. That's a good thing. Return to the scene of the crime, sir.
Good move, yeah.
So anyway, the father told an officer that he was conducting a social experiment in hopes of becoming an internet sensation.
Well, sacrifice your child? Seems like an appropriate trade-off.
Well, I think he's been somewhat of an internet sensation for all the wrong reasons.
I mean, yeah. Nobody intervened? Is this guy shoving his boy in the trunk?
I'm not sure. I don't know if anybody's probably paying attention.
That's incredible. Well, the fact that he was able to drive off with him in the trunk, I'm assuming that nobody even said anything.
Right? It's like, is he kidnapping this person?
It's so funny how people get involved in like weird scenarios, and then you see someone like potentially kidnapping a child or throwing him in the trunk here, and nobody says anything.
I just don't understand at the expense of your child. Why would you do this? Couldn't you think of some other thing to become an internet sensation?
I mean, yeah, is it really that important for you to be an internet sensation?
Listen,
you know what I mean?
I think some people just shouldn't have kids.
Well, yeah, this may be a front runner right here.
I think so.
But the fact he got the kid back.
And that's another thing that worries me. I think they should have held off on the giving the kid back for a little longer.
You might want to review that case a little bit.
You're right. If he was already with stable relatives, then I think he was okay.
Right.
Yeah. So I guess the new word for social experiment is new wording for child abuse.
Yeah.
Quote unquote.
Yeah. You got to go viral, baby.
That's it.
That's more important than anything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So there you go.
He's okay. It's all right.
Up next, we got a good little doozy story.
Listen,
church.
Sometimes the clashes happen when religion meets business.
Oh boy.
And we've had cases like this before where you're the guy who worked for the guy in Dallas or Texas, wherever. He had to go to he had to go to study religious study to be part of the company.
Yes.
And they became a whole thing.
Yes.
You got to leave religion out of your business. A United Church minister in West End, Toronto, is pitted against a Christian business owner over an outdoor signboard used to spread the word of God, which should be a good thing.
Right.
Not in this case. In a rare complaint filed with the Ontario Human Rights Commission on Wednesday, Reverend Alexa Gilmore, minister of Windermere United Church, alleges that the Archer Mobile Signs Company refused to post a message encouraging people to wish your Muslim neighbor a happy Ramadan, and another that promoted the celebration of Diversity Week in Pride Week. So
there's the problem.
There's the situation. Yeah, there's the situation, I think, more. I mean, they're both obviously situations.
Right.
According to the Human Rights Complaint, the church had rented a mobile sign from Archer Mobile Signs since 2012, and its owner, Stephen Thompson, was responsible for updating the text on the sign every single week. One side of the sign generally displays announcements about the church life and events, while the other displays a message of faith entitled This Week's Spiritual Exercise. That was authored by Gilmore, the Reverend, of course, as, quote, an expression of my faith and an act of Christian ministry. Gilmore and her staff were dictated the weekly text to Thompson by phone or email to the sign owner, of course, and he would put it up. Nice. It's part of the business. That's a business exchange. That's the agreement you have.
Yeah.
Quote, I am all for befriending Muslims in order to reach them for Christ.
Yeah, but I feel like there's a big but coming.
There is a sense in which your spiritual exercise goes beyond wishing Muslims well to actually encourage them in their ideology. I have no problem with wishing them well, but I do violate, I would violate my own consents before God to encourage them in their pursuit of Allah, according to Thompson's email. So, this becomes a thing. How far is too far? The woman obviously pays for a service. I mean, I could put anything on that sign.
Yes.
Right?
A man is cooking children down the street.
Listen,
there's a fresh Audi. You want your kid cooked? There's a free kid barbecue. That's what you could put on the sign.
Serving it right up.
Right?
The fact that it's, I'm assuming, in front of a church, it's a Christian place, and maybe that has something to do with it. He's part of that faith, obviously. He doesn't want a message being portrayed, put out there, I don't know, on behalf of his religion that he believes in.
I think he should delegate maybe when the messages get relayed to somebody else. Let him be the owner of the business and deal with setting up the contracts or wherever you're going to place your sign.
Yeah.
Then let somebody else deal with the wording and, hey, don't worry, weekly, I'll go put the message up.
Yeah.
So you don't, you kind of, I'd say turn a blind eye, but I mean, if certain messages are going to offend you or your beliefs, then maybe you shouldn't be part of that process.
Yeah, maybe you shouldn't be a business owner in that process either. I mean, that's, it's business and religion. The two don't mix.
No.
They just don't mix.
It's
not because you can't mix them. It's just they probably shouldn't.
Yeah.
Not everyone practices the same religion or beliefs, and you have to respect each other's beliefs and religion. But business is business. You there trying to make money, man? Are you trying to change lives? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
My advice to this woman, to this minister, go buy a sign. Put whatever the hell you want on the sign.
That's another thing, too.
Yeah.
I'm sure by now, or she's probably, the money spent updating the sign, she probably could have bought her own by now. So I think in this case, this is probably going to spark that idea in hopes, and then you can put your own messages on your own sign.
Probably happened for a reason, man. Get this guy out of there. She's been renting since 2012. Yeah, you're right.
Damn, 6 years?
Yeah.
Oh, my
You
God.
could buy 5 signs.
You could buy,
Buy 100 signs.
You could buy his business.
You could buy out his business.
Right?
And then the other part, of course, is the gay pride thing, which she, of course, had a problem with as well. So she's just pushing all the buttons.
Right.
But it's her sign. It's her business. It's her church. She can do what she wants. Anyway.
Weird.
Don't let it mix, people.
Yeah, business and religion, see, they don't mix well.
In this day and age, what the hell?
No.
Anyway.
You know it does mix well.
Mix
Everybody out there tuning into the morning show, Talking Trends.
Shouts out. Our early morning birds.
Thank you very much for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen.
Johannes down in Miami tuning in. Chelsea. Jonathan, the man, always in the house. Joe's in the house. Ashley, Jim. Carrie's in the house as well. Jerry, my man. Ben Nation. DJ Mutz. Ian, Alake, and T.
Hey.
In the house today.
Up next for the second half of our show, ladies and gentlemen, pictured here, candidate of Father of the Year.
You got all the father stories today.
I do. Because, I mean, there's been plenty of times I've covered Mother of the Year.
That's right. And I got the mother after this story, so you're right. We got all the parents today.
Yeah, I mean, I feel that we have to do our just due diligence to the dads out there.
Agreed.
So, in this case, sad case, actually, dad left his infant in the bathtub while he played video games. And, of course, the child died at the hospital. A 5-month-old boy likely drowned in a bathtub this week after his father left the room to play a video game and forgot about the infant.
Well,
when you got a game, I guess you got a game.
I got to get back to the game.
God. My God. Knock out some wood.
Christ.
Okay. Cordarius Cotton. Sounds like a made-up name.
That's a great name.
Told the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office that when he returned about an hour later,
an hour later,
the child was unresponsive. Sorry, the infant was unresponsive. Dispatcher gave CPR instructions over the phone while paramedics were en route. First responders performed resuscitation. Thank you very much. Efforts on the child as they rushed him to hospital, but the boy was pronounced dead shortly after arriving, fortunately. I can't imagine how hard this is going to be on that child's family, Chief Deputy Randy Christian said in a news release. This will be heart-wrenching for all involved. God be with them. The infant's mother wasn't home at the time. The 2 other children living at the residence were placed in the care of a grandmother. Of course, this man has been charged with reckless manslaughter and could face up to 20 years in prison. And he's being held at jail for bond set at $15,000. Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, I'd like to say my heart goes out to the family.
Yeah, big time.
But secondly, what the hell were you thinking leaving a 5-month-old baby in a bathtub?
What's the charge? Was the charge in child endangerment?
Reckless manslaughter.
Reckless manslaughter.
Yeah. And I mean, you left a 5-month-old baby in a bathtub for what? To play video games? It's not even like you left the room to do something important, like put out a fire.
No.
Or even answer the door. That's not important. And then
no.
And still at that point, you take the child with you.
Yeah, you never leave a child in any sort of water situation, especially 5 months old. I'd be very curious to see what he gets out of this.
I'll see if I can keep updating with it. I mean, it's not a very popular story, but who knows? It could catch wind and
manslaughter it's kind of down there as far as it's not murder. It's not, you know what I mean? Like it's done in a act of passion or accident.
Man, play video games.
I agree with you, man. I think that premise should be part of the case. You should definitely look at why it happened and what was he doing. If he was going to, like you said, do something important and he had to, like, an emergency. I mean, still, you should take care of your own
Regardless,
child.
if you're leaving a child in a bathroom and you're bathing,
either way,
said child, take the kid with you.
Yeah.
Also, at that age, aren't you bathing them in this, like, sometimes in like a little tubby, like so they don't drown, like for that reason?
At 5 months, yeah, you would.
You're not putting them in a full tub.
No, not at 5 months. No, definitely not.
Right. Also, this is another case of when people shouldn't have children.
Another winner right there. Another front runner.
Back to back.
Put the game down.
And again, maybe there should be a parenting course out there for upcoming parents or parents to be.
Yeah.
Bathing 101. Yeah. Don't leave your child unattended.
Can you imagine how the mother feels?
Dude, I can't imagine. I would never want to imagine something like that, coming home to something like that. Be like, oh, how was your day? Oh, where's so-and-so?
Imagine.
Well, or just having the cops come to your work and being like, okay, just I don't
Breaking
know.
that news? No, thank you.
No.
Speaking of mothers.
Yes.
Mothers to be.
Yeah.
Or mothers fake not to be.
This is crazy.
Fake mothers to be.
Yes.
A woman fakes a pregnancy for 9 months. So she pretends to be pregnant for 9 months. Then staged her own abduction on the day she was supposed to give birth before claiming a gang had cut the baby out of her womb.
Oh.
This is out of Colombia. Colombian woman, 37 years old, reportedly used a cushion to fool her husband into believing she was pregnant in a bid to convince him not to leave her.
Did they not have sex for 9 months?
No sex. As the months went by, she increased the size of her belly by filling the cushion with rags and printed off an ultrasound scan from the internet to show the family and friends that she was pregnant.
Wow.
And she was expecting. Incredibly, her husband never suspected anything was wrong, and as the day of the birth neared, became increasingly excited as a father-to-be for the first time. But this elaborate scam spectacularly unraveled on Saturday the 22nd, the day she was due to give birth by C-section at a local hospital. She reportedly left home at 10 a.m., headed to the clinic, but later said that she had been kidnapped by a gang in a red van who bundled her inside and later drugged her. She claimed she woke up 7 p.m. that evening outside a supermarket in another part of town and realized the baby was no longer in her womb.
What?
She reportedly called home and told her husband and other family members that an organ trafficking gang had cut the baby from her belly in order to sell the baby parts on the black market. Worried about her health, her family.
Baby parts.
So worried about her health, her family took her against her will to a local hospital where shocked medics called police, who launched a massive operation to track down the alleged kidnappers.
Okay. At that point, you just gotta be like, listen.
You gotta let it go.
She doesn't have any incision. Why? Hopefully, she didn't do anything to herself.
No, I don't think she did anything to herself. So basically, the test.
Man, yo, you think you've dated some crazy people out there? Yeah, I'm talking to you.
So listen, ladies.
This one takes the cake.
This is beyond.
Yeah.
Brandon says, "What a story." Yeah, it's a little out there. I think I've heard of the fake pregnancy thing. I've heard of that before.
Yeah.
The whole gang thing is a whole other.
The 9-month haul.
Well, how do you explain it, right? It's a day. Okay, got to go to the hospital. It's time to deliver your first baby.
You guys don't cuddle on the couch. You're not rubbing that belly as an excited father to be, and you're not noticing like, this is a lumpy baby.
Apparently not. And now you got to find out how you're going to explain it.
Like, honey, I went to go clean the kitchen. Where are the rags?
Yeah.
Where are the rags? They all seem to be disappearing.
Disappearing very slowly, and you can say, let me touch that belly a little bit.
No.
Look a little squishy.
No.
Yeah, no.
Don't touch my
I got to go to the hospital.
Don't touch my belly.
I've been taken by gang members. They've sold my baby parts on the black market. What? And you're there.
How are you going to back that up? That's what I want to know.
Listen.
How is this all going to play out?
Well, needless to say, I think it's all over for this woman. I think when she got to the hospital, that's when it really started. Of course, they're just like, listen, you have no incision. You have nothing on you right now.
There was no red van.
No sign, no red van. And the worst thing is she let the police like go full tilt and go, oh, yeah, launch an investigation. Let's find these people.
The fact that they went to that, first they should have checked with the doctors and being like, okay, does this check out medically?
Yep.
Is she okay?
Well, here's what happened. The woman went around showing the ultrasound scan that she had for the internet, of course, that she had this thing. Of course, that was proved to be fake. That she got it from the internet. Reportedly, she fled the hospital at 3 a.m. Sunday morning, 2 hours after the blood test confirmed she had not been pregnant, and her whereabouts are still unknown at this point.
Oh,
so
man!
I mean, you did it to not lose your husband. You've lost everything at this point. Didn't you think this out long term? What do you think was going to happen when you went to the hospital? Just the baby was going to show up?
Perhaps if you really want to continue a relationship with this said husband, sit down and be like, hey, would you like a baby? Let's bring a child into this world.
Yeah.
I know you want one.
Yeah.
I think I'm ready to. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Why fake the whole thing?
Maybe she couldn't get pregnant.
And that's another. We don't know what's going on. Maybe the guy wasn't. His men weren't swimming.
Maybe it's him. Maybe it's her. But You know, there's other options. Adoption.
Yes.
Why don't you go to the black market that you apparently sold your baby on
sure
and buy your baby back?
There's a bunch of babies out there.
There's a lot of babies. Go. You can get one get a trunk baby.
Yeah, exactly. There's one down the street.
6-year-old boy, ready to go, nice and warm.
Yeah.
Good to go. All cooked up. Well done. Oh, what is happening to parents nowadays? It's all going downhill.
But what isn't going downhill,
No.
guys, of course,
going uphill.
We still have the turkey drive going on, ladies and gentlemen, in the link below in the description.
Yep.
Head over there, make a donation, help a family out that is in need for this upcoming Thanksgiving, Canadian Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, myself and Tony have put this thing together. We're just going to put together some donations. And again, to help out a family in need when around Thanksgiving.
Yeah, the shelters are overwhelmed by people that are, in need around that time of year, all the time of year. But I mean, especially that time of year when, you want to feel, like you're with family and, people care and,
It's a time of reflection.
It's a time of reflection and giving thanks.
Yeah, so I mean,
we can give back. We got plenty.
Exactly. If you're able to give back, more power to you. And again, if you are unable to make a donation, a like or a share will be perfectly
That'd be
fine.
great,
That helps immensely.
Yep.
And tomorrow,
Daddy,
the show will be on the regular time, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah. And we have a special guest, Fresh Kills, super producer, engineer, who will be joining us tomorrow in the hot seat. Again, we'll be asking him all the kinds of great questions.
Yeah.
So tune in tomorrow if you want to ask him, a bunch of questions that have been burning on your mind. Questions that you would like to ask a super producer.
Yeah. Burn, baby, burn.
Right. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for tuning in to another episode of Talking Trends, Morning Edition. We appreciate your love. If you like the show, of course, like, share, tell somebody about it.
That'd be nice.
If you see us in the street,
that'd be good Thanksgiving for us.
Give us a handshake.
Yeah, flag us down on the street.
Yeah, say I like the show.
We're in the streets.
Hardcore.
We're deep in the streets.
Yeah.
So we'll be back tomorrow. All good?
Yes.
Rock on, people. Have a great day ahead of you.
Yes.
We can say that. It's a morning edition. Have a great day.
Exactly.
And we will check y'all tomorrow.
We out.
Be safe.